Now, I love this quote. The brain is fundamentally a lazy piece of meat. Now, on the one hand, I've just told you it's brilliant. It's got this Google search engine, and it's going to do all these things for you. But another part of our brain can actually get quite lazy. And I recently read this excerpt in Iconoclast. A neuroscientist reveals how to think differently, and the author is Gregory Burns. He explains that the brain gets lazy when it gets in a rut, like sitting at our desks all day, right? But it starts firing like crazy when it gets out and sees something new. Burns writes that we should take breaks and go somewhere new. The more radical the change, the greater the likelihood of fresh insights. So with that in mind, I want to get into, I've been talking about taking breaks. I want to urge you to take breaks. I know a lot of people put off writing till the 11th hour, and then they sit down and they just write straight through, but because it's the 11th hour, they don't have time to edit, and they just don't get very good results. And you know, like I mentioned about the road trip, you take breaks when you're driving. Well, I want you to think about that for your writing and take breaks. Get up, stretch your legs, refresh your mind. This is my favorite technique. A change of scene can make a huge difference in your productivity. Get out of your office. If possible, go to a cafe, a picnic table in the park, the public library, or at least to a different part of your office. Just go somewhere new. And I'd love to share this great story from my colleague, Virginia McCullough. She and I are both book writing coaches. And so she was about 2/3 of the way through an article when she got stuck. She had no idea how to wrap up and write a strong ending. Unfortunately, her deadline was the next day. She glanced at the clock and her mind drifted. If she left right away, she could walk the mile or so to Wrigley Field and take in the Chicago Cubs afternoon game. She felt a little guilty, as if she were abandoning the project, but not guilty enough to change her mind. She grabbed her jacket and left. As usual, she got absorbed in the game. But along about the 4th inning, her mind drifted to the article she left behind. Within seconds, and without fanfare or struggle, a solution to her dilemma came to her. In an instant, she had the material rearranged in her mind, and she had a path to the finish line. Now, what's key to remember, though, the solution came to a problem she'd already worked on. Her earlier efforts at writing primed her creativity pump. She didn't wait till the 11th hour. No, she had been doing her work, because she knew that creativity, or the muses, or whatever you want to call it, reward action. We can't lapse into magical thinking that the muse is going to arrive with that perfect 11th hour answer. We've got to do the work, and then we get the help. And you know, we all need our Wrigley Fields, and that's why I suggest leaving the office to get a change of scene, but also to allow the unconscious mind to deliver creative ideas and answers. Find a special place that can become your Wrigley Field. When I lived in Washington, D.C., I used to take breaks at some of the marvelous museums that are there. And they're all free, so I didn't even have to worry about paying a big admission price. I'd go and I would just spend a half hour wandering through just a room imbued with creativity. And on the bus trip home, I just almost always had my solution. Now, we can't always take trips to Wrigley Field and museums, but we can take a walk to get a needed break and perhaps come up with a new idea or solution. Find yourself that special place, even if it's your own backyard. Just get out of Dodge. Our subconscious is working on solutions for us, but we have to give it the right environment and the right respect. We've got to pay attention and get quieter so we can hear or sense the solutions it has to share. And, you know, I also advise my clients to switch it up. You may be wedded to your computer, or maybe you prefer a legal pad and pen. But if you find yourself stuck, switch it up. Maybe if you usually write at your computer, sitting down with paper and pen will help you break through a barrier. Maybe you can change your writing method and leave your desk. Or take your laptop to the kitchen table. Maybe that's enough to get your brain out of a rut. And now one more technique. Writing in your sleep is an amazing process. I've been using it for years, though I have to confess, early on I didn't quite believe in it. Now I do, especially since brain scientists have proven why it's so effective. And as writing expert William Zinsser writes, your subconscious mind does more writing than you think. While you slept, your writer's mind didn't. To some extent, a writer is always working. And again, this is a fabulous book. It's the very first writing book I ever read. And it's a classic. It's as powerful today as when it was first published. So, back to sleep, writing in your sleep. Before you go to bed, think about what you need. Get clear on what's missing, what you need help with. You'll be amazed what comes to you when you waken. And take advantage of that time in the morning after you awaken while you're still warm under the covers. It's called the liminal state, and it's ripe for discovery. It's that time when you're awake but still feel in a dreamy state. Mull over your topic. Imagine different ways to approach it. Keep paper or recorder handy. These gems that come to you like this are ephemeral, and they can slip away as you begin your day. I know this works. This is when I got the idea for a 900-word article that led to more than $25,000 in writing assignments, including a book deal from a Hawaiian publisher, a book that's gone on to win a couple of awards. So this is a wonderful time when your creativity is really active. So, let's take a minute to review what you're taking away today. I've just shared creative tools and techniques so you can start your writing fast and keep your momentum and creativity flowing. And I hope that I've helped you with some ways to jumpstart your writing and get over any kind of fear that you're not good enough. You are. That you just start writing, because you can always make it better later. Good writing is really good editing. And plan and organize so that your writing road trip goes smoothly. And then start fast and use some of those techniques that double your writing speed to build your momentum. And then I hope you'll practice brainstorming, because another sales expression is, oh, he left money on the table. Well, you're leaving money and creativity on the table when you don't let that marvelous search engine inside your brain come up with fresh associations for whatever you're writing. And then enjoy some more free time, because not only do we need it in this crazy, stressful world of ours, but it's also going to refresh your writing and increase your creativity. So let's just take a quick quiz to reinforce some of the information I've shared. So which of these, A, B, or C, is correct? First drafts are, and just take a second here, and first drafts are part of the planning process. They are almost never orderly and straightforward, and they have nothing to say about how well you write. They are part of the planning process. So let's keep that straight. So name the 2 tenets of good organizing. We talked about those early on. And that's get to the point quickly, and the rule of 1. You want 1 topic per sentence, per paragraph, and per memo. And then brainstorming opens up your brain to more creativity, because it's like, and you might pick 2 of these, or 3 of these, or 1 of these, or none of these. Well, I think it's all three. And we're going to talk about that. This is a simile. This using the word like, and that's a simile. And I'm going to show you how to use those because they help compare something, a product, a service, to something familiar so that your readers immediately go, oh, I get it. So brainstorming is like a chef preparing a feast with all those new ingredients that your search engine, is finding for you. And then it's like a conductor too, because it's turning disparate notes into music. All that new ingredient and fresh associations, you have to kind of pull them all together. And brainstorming helps you do that too. And then name 3 ways you can write faster. I gave you 5, so try to think of at least 3 of them. And I hope that you will use all 5 of them. Okay, here's all 5 again. And I hope those look familiar to you. And so now for your creative challenges, I want this in the week ahead and in the years and months ahead. I want you to be thinking about how to do some things. And so I'd like to encourage you to practice 2 of those brainstorming techniques, the 2 that sound interesting to you, and then discover which one you prefer, or try all of them. And then try all 5 of those double your writing speed techniques because they're all valuable. And then use that saved time to spend a little bit more time polishing your content. And in a future session, we're going to go in a whole lot more detail on how you do that. But that's a great thing to get started trying. Now, you've obviously already gotten your webinar recording and your slide deck, and that's a nice handy way of reviewing what we did today. The slide deck is you can flip around so much easier, so I'm glad you've got all of those. And then we included a bonus, the Overcome Your Fear of Writing checklist. So anytime you're feeling stymied, just pick that up and hear my voice and know that I believe in you and that I know you can write like a champ. So now, next time, we'll take your writing from boring to brilliant. How to write attention-grabbing, traffic-building articles, blogs, books, reports, and even email. I'll show you the proven methods that I developed over my long writing career so you can use it over and over and write all kinds of compelling content. This includes exciting headlines, bold leads. That's what we call the first 1 or 2 paragraphs of an article or a blog or even a report. Also those how to keep your middle from sagging and how to end with impact. That's so important with articles and blogs, and certainly a proposal, because you want to end with impact so that the person reading this says, boy, I'm going to hire this VA. So I hope that you have gotten a lot out of today, and that I look forward to helping you in the next session. And I thank you so much, and vaclassroom.com thanks you too. So thanks, and bye for now.